Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to another amazing episode of Talent Takeover Unfiltered. Today we have an amazing guest, Andrew Heywood, who is the recruiting manager at Roblox, and he is going to give some insight on really how you can stand out. Roblox receives hundreds of applications. How do you stand out amongst the masses? Ooh, this is exciting. Hey, Andrew, how are you doing?
Awesome. I'm really excited to be here this morning, Brianna and Taylor. So thanks for inviting me.
Of
Nice.
course. Happy to have you. I don't know about Brianna, but my kids, like I told them we were recording with somebody from Roblox today. My son's like got his Roblox t-shirt on. I mean, it's a big deal. They want to hear about it, whatever. Yeah, I'm like, it's business stuff, but they want to hear about it whenever they get home.
That's
Love that.
wonderful. Yeah, I love to hear that. Thank you.
And make sure you guys listen on all the way to the end for Andrew's Broke to Boss tip of the week. We're really excited for that. We love when our guests provide their insight. If you've listened to the podcast, Andrew, you know what ours typically are. So feel free to not censor yourself. Just shoot it to them straight.
Welcome to Talent Takeover
Unfiltered.
When it comes to working hard and keeping it real, we know our shit. Self-care, happiness, inner peace, and time. I'm Brianna Rooney, and this is Taylor Bradley.
Hey, y'all.
And we have thrived in chaos and turned it into an art form. So Taylor, what are we doing here today?
We're here to give you a raw, under-the-hood view of all things recruiting and finally give credit where credit is due to a long underrated industry that's full of quote-unquote experts.
All right. Well, then let's take this show to the road.
Awesome.
Nice. All right. Well, let's dig in because, you obviously have a very well-known brand. I mean, if kids know about you, everybody knows about you, right? So I'm wondering, just want to start off, how many, applications do you get per job rec?
Yeah, that's a great question. We're fortunate right now. Obviously, we're in a very unique market time frame, but we're still hiring quite a bit. And it really depends on the level of role, the type of role. We usually can get from hundreds of applicants, on a certain rec to just a few, depending on the level. So a lot of our efforts are outbound sourcing to referrals, as well as applicants. We're doing a lot of external branding events, tech talks in our local area, for example. We also are at particular events around the U.S. As well. So we definitely want to represent ourselves properly.
Yeah. So with all of the outbound, I mean, obviously you have to pay attention to inbound because that's the easier stuff. So
Yeah.
how would one stand out? Like, are they, because I think of, I mean, as a recruiter, I'm like, I'm hitting up everybody. I'm going straight to you. I'm going to the hiring manager. I'm putting my application, all those things. But that's a bit aggressive. So how do you recommend? What do you think?
Yeah, I think first, if I'm applying, don't spam your resume to multiple positions. Really try to target that search look through our job site, really target a role that aligns with your experience and passion first and foremost. Second, go on a LinkedIn or whatnot and look at the type of folks that could be on that team. If it's noted on LinkedIn, do some research on your own, highlight something, really kind of target that resume towards the role as well. And as you mentioned, there are going to be multiple resumes in a rec, but as a company, we definitely do our due diligence and go through our pipelines and recs. We're very tight on the data. We try to keep these stages very clean, and we try to get back to everyone.
Ooh,
I
that's
have
hard. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Taylor.
I was going to say, I have to imagine you guys because you get such an abundance of applicants, and I'm sure you have referrals and they're amazing candidates as well. So I'm sure you just got a great pipeline of people. So I'm curious to know, what do you do with your silver medalists? So your candidates that maybe didn't get the job, but they're like still really good.
That's a great question. We, as a talent org and a company, we do our best to find homes for folks who are very talented and may not have maybe made it to that particular role. Most of the positions we have are multiple openings, or a lot of them. So we try to find homes for folks. And as a talent org too, we share candidates, individuals that may be better fits in other positions. For example, we're giving an offer to an individual that was initially being considered for a different team in the summer, and now we've reconsidered coming back to them again for a different role. So we definitely want to look at folks that were potentially great fits, but maybe didn't make it that time around.
Got it.
So when you're going through them, like I love that you just brought someone back. And actually, we just got off of an episode on how like your skills are transferable. This is something I'm thinking as you're interviewing, as your resume, they're transferable things. So how can someone, just because they didn't make it this time, how could they assure or even get a better chance the second time?
That's a great question. I think as that individual, staying in touch with that recruiter or that hiring manager, showing you are engaged first and foremost with the brand. Are you following what's going on, like our investor day videos or what maybe a podcast or an article? Are you staying engaged with our brand, for example, staying in touch with that person? Because it really does matter when we talk to individuals. Are they really into our platform? Obviously, if they have kids, most likely they know about our platform, but have they touched it? Have they played with it a little bit? And even if they're not, we hire a lot of brilliant individuals who may not be in that realm or maybe play those games, but they know how to scale a product and build great products. But have they actually dug in and say signed up for an account, jumped in and looked at our platform? But I would say stay engaged with that recruiter, stay in touch. And we are growing. We're definitely a company that continue to scale and grow. So there's going to be opportunities that are going to be opening up for individuals.
Nice.
So how often do you, going back to, like Brianna said, we just recorded an episode on transferable skills. How often, going back to, you probably get an abundance of really great candidates. Do you say, well, I know you applied for this role, maybe a recruiting role, but based on your skills and the conversations and how they did in the interview, we actually think you'd be great in this marketing role that we have open. Is that something you guys do?
It really depends. That's probably my best answer. It depends on what that level is and what type of experience they're looking for. I can say there is internal mobility, for example, for individuals. And so that's an opportunity for one, if you're already in and there's potential in another group. And that's obviously a evolving process as we've, recently public entity, we are growing, we're scaling, and all of these structures and processes are evolving as well internally. I guess to answer your question, it really just depends on what that group is looking for. What is the number of positions they need for that position? But it has happened, and we are in a process of, nurturing the talent we have internally as well.
What's your recommendation if someone's on your site and trying to do their due diligence and be like, okay, what position is right for me? Because sometimes there's positions that are right for them and there's positions that they prefer. So wondering how they would go about that. Do they apply for the one that on paper they look the best fit for so they can get in the door? Or do they apply for the position they actually want and go into more detail on their background and how they could fit?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think that happens to a lot of individuals. They have some future goal of where they want to be, but their skills at the moment maybe are really transferable for a current role that is available, right? And they have to find a way to grow themselves in that kind of pathway. So I would say overall, we definitely look for folks who are going to be qualified for that particular role. Especially it's a more senior level, we need individuals who have done X, Y, Z, so they can come in with that expertise. I'd say for the lower level roles, there's definitely an opportunity for folks to come in and aspire for a particular position. And we started a talent team rotation program recently this summer. So individuals who just graduated can come in, get trained up through kind of a boot camp program to learn about all the different nuances in the talent craft. And, they're
That's cool.
doing sourcing, recruiting, and now they're going through the cycle now of joining certain groups within the talent org, for instance. I would say depending on the higher level you get, there is going to be that factor of, do you have that experience that we need for that group, for instance?
Got it. One of the things I'm wondering, so you talked about tailoring your resume to the job that you're applying for. And I know each company, we've got our own, everybody's got their things that they look for. So is there something that's maybe a little bit unconventional that someone puts on their resume that you look for that stands out to you? That's maybe not the norm, that's like the hobbies or I ran, a 10K or whatever it is. Is there things that Roblox looks for that are maybe a little bit unconventional like that?
Sure. We definitely look for well-rounded individuals. If you come to Roblox, everyone is, has different backgrounds from their hobbies and what they like to do, for instance. And yeah, 100%. There's people who, we have a running club, we have other like gaming groups, like folks who have other interests. We have individuals who had built games on the platform too. So I think definitely that we look at that during that process, that culture fit, and everyone is, if you meet anyone at Roblox, they're super nice, super humble, really easy to talk to individuals. So we really want folks who don't really have that ego to them, but are really passionate about their craft and really passionate about, their growth and what they want to do. But I guess to answer, we definitely kind of look at that. But first, we look at, are they going to be really a good fit for that role? And then, 100%, we look at those kind of things as well in terms of that culture and how they're going to, as that one being, how they're going to be part of the organization.
So, Andrew, a lot of, especially bigger companies, have bots on the back end going through resumes. I mean, I don't know if you guys have one, but just wondering, thinking, okay, bots sometimes miss some of those soft skills or some of those, culture ads that are on our resume. How do you deal with that? Like, I guess I kind of think of buzzwords and whatnot, but lots of times you don't know if they're going to be a culture ad to you until you talk to them on the phone. So wondering how, bot versus human, your approach is.
We're definitely human. We don't use bots to filter through the applications. Okay. We make our 100% effort to talk to individuals, dig in, learn about them. What are they inspiring to do? What's their what kind of role they really like to do? What are their passions? So we haven't gone them. We do use tools though, within the organization, help speed our process and help us as recruiters move faster and try to give a good experience as well for each candidate.
Okay, well, before we continue talking to Andrew about getting your application seen amongst the crowd, I'd like to talk about today's sponsor, which is Recruit CRM. If you're on the hunt for an ATS plus a CRM system that talks business, then definitely check out Recruit CRM. They've got everything you could need to make recruiting easy, from automated interview scheduling to email tracking. They've got it all. Brennan Jackson, the CVO at MMI Industries, says, I've used Bullhorn, I've used Pipedrive, I've even used Zoho Recruit, and they're all kind of lackluster. They don't deliver a product that solves our problems and the solutions we need. Recruit CRM is the first product that I've seen that's actually built by recruiters for recruiters. It's crazy how they have had a 4.9 rating out of 5 on Gartner's Capterra. And most of these reviews talk about their super impressive customer service support and user experience. So don't forget to check out Recruit CRM. You can even book a demo or sign up for a free trial, no credit card required.
That's amazing.
That is hard to do.
It's
hard to do.
Yeah. And every company has a unique process in how they interview people. Interviewing is mitigating risk in terms of bringing people on to do great work and have people who are really passionate about what they do and they can grow within the company, for instance. We definitely don't use bots, try to use the human touch there, but we have a very tight data integrity method. We have data audits. We're making sure we move candidates fast through the pipeline, the process. And, as an organization, as we're growing, we're getting much better at it. In the earlier days, and I've been at various startups, you're kind of moving really fast. You're trying to hire for the company, create a great candidate experience. You're wearing a lot of different hats, and we're building up this structure within the talent org so we can have great candidate experience, move fast, and really try to give a personal touch.
We didn't touch on this, but I'm just curious to know, how long have you been with Roblox and what is the size of your team?
Great question. Yeah, I've been at Roblox about over 3 years now. So I've been fortunate to go through the public offering to now post and seeing that difference of
so cool.
Scale, really great experience. when I started, the talent team was around 30. Now we're over 200 individuals, and we're still
Wow.
hiring. We're one of the fortunate individuals or companies that are still building the talent org right now. Obviously, it's a very unique market time. Everyone knows what's going on, but we're still growing. And overall, my team is right now 5 individuals, and I oversee the infrastructure hiring efforts. As a company, we're now over 2,000 people. So when I started, we're probably around 300-ish individuals in the company. So we've grown quite a bit, and a lot of it has been through this COVID period where, you didn't really see a lot of people, especially people you hire. And now we're starting to go in once or twice a week, finally meet people, get re-energized again from meeting human beings and working with colleagues. So it's been nice overall to kind of come back and have that hybrid model, but also interact with your colleagues and feel like you're doing great work together.
Oh, I have a controversial question for you. Remote versus in office. I'm pretty vocal about I enjoy in office because I think the energy, you just feed off of each other. So what's your take on that? Like, is hybrid enough? Could you also get the same energy when you're out of the office? How do you guys work that?
Yeah, that's a great question. I definitely feel the energy too. I'm someone who feeds off of meeting people and working together. But I also valued that time when I could spend time with my family, take kids to school and sport events. Yeah. So I do enjoy this hybrid model where I get that sense of purpose with meeting folks and really focusing on the project and getting that energy. But also I value that time of maybe not having to drive an hour to that office in the morning, but I could spend time to get on. I definitely value this mixture we have right now. And I do value the in-person activity. You really do great things together. You get a lot done quickly if it's just face-to-face. So I enjoy this mixture. And I think we did learn as an organization, as a economy too, that people can do things remotely and get stuff done. But I think people definitely miss interaction at the same time too.
Yeah,
I completely
Taylor
agree with
actually has been working. Well, you've been working remotely though before COVID, and you've been rocking that out. But now, did you go in and meetings and stuff like that? How'd that work?
Yeah. I would go in I would go visit clients. That's primarily what I did, and even like working 100% remote, even my IBM days, my IBM Connexa days, I would still travel all the time to client sites. So it was like, even if, And so, at my previous employer, direct employer right before this, yes, I was remote, but I still traveled a lot to go visit clients. So I completely agree with everything that you guys are saying, that energy, me, Brian, I love a war room. I love to we're working on a QBR. I love to get in a war room all day and just bang something out. But, I totally agree with what you're both saying of that energy and feeding off of each other. And it's nice to work in an office sometimes with people, but if I had the choice, I would never trade the flexibility that you get to have with kids and taking kids to school. And if they're sick and you can handle that, because I have worked in other environments, as we've discussed, Brianna, where if you have to pick up your sick kid, you have to put in PTO to go do that. And so that for me would be a hard no, that I would never go back to an organization like that. That's just super, super strict. And you have to be here for these set hours. Your ass has to be in the chair, Yeah.
And there's definitely, we have flexibility in even with when we're going to the office. So we don't have a tight 9 to 5, you got to be here. But I think just being present, especially on the talent side, you're working with clients internally, having that FaceTime. And there's a big difference from seeing someone on video than in person. A lot of comments are interesting where, oh, you're much taller in person, or you're not as tall in person. So it's those interesting comments when you meet individuals face to face.
That's hilarious. So that's exactly what happened to the two of us when we met. We worked together for quite a while before we met, and I had no idea her height. She had no idea of mine. And so when we met, it was like, oh, come here, you're old
I'm the short one.
I was like, oh, and I'm 5'9". And then, it was even when we got back after I visited the office, some of the employees were like, hey, I heard you're really tall. It's like,
that's so funny.
We definitely have that here. We have individuals who are very tall, spanning 6 feet plus to shorter. And it's really interesting.
Yeah, it's interesting when you talk to somebody and you just see this much of them, and then you meet them in person. It's like, oh, wow, I had no idea, Your head looks big. So I wouldn't think you were that short. No, I'm kidding.
So unfortunately, we're over at time, which is nuts. But I want to ask I know, right? So fast. It's so good. I want to ask one more question because I know we're talking about standing out in the masses just by, applying. So what about, I don't think anyone does cover letters anymore. Is that safe to say, right? What about when they're applying? Can they write a message? Can they, anything besides their resume stand out?
Yeah, I think it helps a bit, right? If someone's really into the platform or they note, hey, I built this game when I was a kid, or I've done XYZ on the platform, I researched this. It definitely shows that passion for the platform. We talk to brilliant individuals all the time, and we definitely look for that spark. Do they actually love the scale that we're working on? Do they actually believe in the platform and how we're really creating this awesome immersive platform where people can interact socially and do great things together. So that it definitely helps. To your point, the cover letter era has kind of died out, but any kind of verbiage or anything they can't, or message, it helps. They'll definitely look at folks will look at that profile, for instance. We, sometimes we'll get kids who apply, wanting to work at Roblox, which was really cute because they're really interested. We also have folks who were on the platform as builders who've built games who've come work for us as well. It's pretty cool.
That is cool.
It's awesome.
Yeah. Make sure you move Cade Bradley's application to the top. He's 9. So I'm kidding. Totally kidding. But I love that you have kids apply. I think that's really cute. Yeah. Okay. Well, I guess we're at time for the Broke to Boss tip of the week, Andrew. So,
this is awesome. So, Broke to Boss. Yeah, I think for what I want to give for folks is have a growth mindset, and we have that at Roblox too. Is always, don't take mistakes as I'm a failure. Take them as growth moments, and always keep moving forward and keep kind of building yourself. And I remember when I was working with a particular startup in the past, the founder told me, in your particular role, get to the point where you're outgrowing your position and you can hand it off to the next individual and keep building yourself. So I thought that was really great advice. It's scary advice, but it's also great advice where you're continuing to build your craft and build yourself. And if you can, build out a group or build out a team and say, hand it off to in a great shape, or you move on to a different kind of role, you can really feel good about yourself. But always take failures as learning moments, keep building, give feedback, take feedback well. No matter what the feedback, take it as growth moments. There are times, especially early in your career, you're getting some critical feedback. You feel really bad about yourself, but you actually grow the most during these moments. You kind of step back, think, and you kind of move forward during those moments. So the toughest times are the moments where you're actually building yourself, versus when things are going well, you're probably not developing yourself as much as you could. So stay uncomfortable, stay in that growth moment, and keep pushing yourself to move forward.
I got the chills. Did you, Taylor?
I was like, mic drop. That was really good.
Oh my God. I have so much to say, but that was your broke boss. So you like, that's it. But that's exactly what it is. You get stagnant. It's not fun anymore. So then you put yourself in tough situations. And I read something on Pinterest, because I'm a Pinterest girl, but something like, it's a choice to stay down. You choose to stay down. Right. So the growth moments, I love that.
Yeah.
And especially during this period, it's a very unique market. I know a lot of people are getting laid off. This is just one moment. Things are going to get better as they do. Keep moving forward, basically.
Love it. That's a really good one. Yeah. Really
good
insight.
Andrew Heywood, recruiting manager at Roblox. This was awesome. And this was, by the way, this is not a plug on Roblox. It's just where you work. You gave a lot of great just feedback and ideas for any individual applying anywhere. So thank you so much. Love that you were here.
Yes. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. And it went really fast. It went
fast. It did. It did.
It always says. Okay. Thanks all. And remember, this episode is also on the Millionaire Recruiter, the YouTube channel. So you can, really watch us in action. And please, subscribe, sign up for our email list, all those good things. Talent Takeover Unfiltered. Woo.
Thanks for listening, y'all.
Bye.
Thank you.